Have you ever thought about how you make decisions? Are you the type of person to make decisions very quickly? Or are you the type of person to take your time and make decisions? Well, this week on Motivation and Confidence, we're going to help you learn how you make decisions and the decision process. Stay tuned. All right, everybody worldwide, you're now tuned into Motivation and Confidence, where we help you do your daily best. And I'm your host, Tom Danger. Back this week with a new episode. And before we get started, please like, subscribe, or share. If there are any topic suggestions that you have, you can email us, tommydanger@gmail.com, TOMMYDANGER@gmail.com. We appreciate you tuning in. We're going to have some giveaways. So if you stick around, and by the end of the podcast, small challenge for you. If you go to our website and tell us what is the third title of the podcast. If you tell us the third title of the podcast, you get one of three prizes. You can either get a t-shirt, a book, or a gift certificate. So one of the three things that you can get if you tell us, if you're the first person to tell us what is the third title in the podcast, because right now we are up to episode, 119, something like that, 120. So episode number 3 will win you a prize. Okay, let's get down to business. This week, I was thinking about negative thoughts and how when I'm talking to my kids, if I say, I need to talk to you, the first thing they say is, what happened? What's wrong? And, I was discussing it with my wife, and I'm saying, why do the kids always think that something is wrong? And then it led me to think even further. I remember having a conversation with one of my mentors and life coaches, and he was telling me that most people have negative thoughts. And my question to you is, have you ever really thought about how negative you think? I always talk on the show about putting your ideas out there and putting yourself out there so that you can live the dream. And the dream is whatever lifestyle you have so envisioned for yourself. Whether it is starting a small business or whatever it is, putting yourself out there. So some of the common things that people say is, I don't have enough time. I don't have enough money. I don't know the right people. What else do people say? What's another big one? I don't know what I'm doing. What else? People tell me a whole lot of things. It's sort of like we always lean toward what we can't do instead of what we can do. And it made me think about how we make decisions, right? And typically, when you look at behavioral patterns, and we always talk about the DISC, right? The D, the I, the S, and the C. And then the D talks about your decision making. And on a scale of 0 to 100, 100 is being very focused, high level, driven in making a decision. And on the lowest scale, it's more or less very cautious or diplomatic when it comes to making decisions. So do we even take into consideration how we go about making decisions? A, in our natural frame of thinking, just the way it comes to us. Or B, from an adaptive standpoint, when people are watching us, like when you're pushed. Now, I know myself, typically, I don't want to come across as the angry black guy. So when it comes to, let's say, group decisions, I like to fall back. I like to just assess what's going on, take everyone else's thoughts into consideration, and then potentially give my 2 cents. So are you even thinking about how you go about making decisions when it comes to working on your ideas, your dreams, or your passions? Is that something that you ever considered? some of us are not meant to be in the roles of making high-level decisions. So I'm working with another client right now where they are developing their passion project, and by going through assessment, we were quickly able to realize, like, hey, you don't naturally have the skill set to do certain things. So it's better for you to partner with people to fall back on your weaknesses. Especially when we're a small business, we try to do everything. We want to be the editor, especially like podcast is the perfect example. I want to do the cover art. I want to be the editor. Thank God my wife is here, but otherwise I'll be the camera person. I want to edit the podcast. I want to distribute the podcast. I want to do the transcription for the podcast. So we're doing all of these things as opposed to thinking about what is the one thing that we do really well. And even in doing that one thing really well, how do we go about making decisions? Because when it comes time to execute, you got to put yourself against some sort of deadline. Because if not, you'll never get it started. And that's what a lot of people do. You will start a project, or you'll write down the idea. You'll say, this year I'm going to work on this. And maybe at the start of the year, you put a little bit of work into it. But then somewhere along the line, you slowly start to put it on the back burner. Life gets in the way. You're taking care of your family. You're taking care of the kids. And now you're coming up with another reason as to why you're not working on it. But again, think about how you go about making the decisions. And think about, are you surrounding yourself with the right people to help you get to where you want to go? Now, some people always say like, oh, well, I don't know how to network, or I'm not good with. That's a bunch of BS. Because all you have to do, in the words of Gary Vee, is Google it, right? So you can Google it, or you can join. Facebook is very famous for this. You can join different groups that already, I guarantee you there's a group on Facebook for almost any idea that you want to get into, and it's a bunch of people talking about it. And all you have to do is be a fly on the wall. Now, some groups will have rules to where you must contribute. So you got to go in there, you got to leave a comment, or you got to like or thumbs up, something like that. But with that being said, you can even, be active without being active. A lot of us just want everything handed to us, right? You want the Tommy Dangers to come to you and say, hey, you just put work in for the past 10 years. What did you do? Just hand that secret over to me. And the truth is, I've been handing the secret to you. I've been handing the secret to you for the past 10 years, right? So if you looked at my growth in the podcast from the first episode to this episode and how we've grown, I've basically broken down from literally, perfect example, when I started this podcast, how much of a fragile and depressed state that I was in, but with the goal of getting better, right? Sharing the journey of going through pain, going through something. What are the thoughts that you have? Those negative thoughts. How do you shake negative thoughts? Dealing with anxiety. How do you deal with anxiety? Dealing with anger. All these things and how you go through it. Even to this point where we're talking about how do you effectively make decisions and position yourself to where you know what your strengths and weaknesses are. And if you're not sure, please reach out to me via email and say, I want to know what my strengths and weaknesses are, and I can definitely help you find that out. So I've also seen people who basically tend to make decisions on the higher scale. They make decisions very rapid, right? And if you are surrounded by people who make decisions very rapid and you don't move that fast, it may make you uncomfortable because you may prefer to fall back and assess what's going on, and it kind of throws you off. So this goes back to self-awareness. Unless you understand why you move the way that you move, you're basically going to stagnate yourself. Like you got to do the homework in figuring out why you move the way that you move. And especially in the black community, and I always like to pick on us, right? Because this is basically all I know. That's what I was born into. we have this fear of what we like think of like therapy or any type of self journey. Like we get spooked about it. And I don't know why. Like what is more, to me, there's nothing that's more fulfilling than learning about yourself. Because the more that you learn about yourself, the better you can navigate yourself around other people. Not every person is meant to be in your life. Not every situation is meant for you. And when you learn about yourself, you can quickly make that decision before you go into a business deal with the wrong partner, before you try to partner with a supplier that's going to crap on you down the line. You can sort of make your assessment. Wow, this person's moving this way, it's such and such, such and such. Nah, I don't really mesh well with that because I make decisions from this standpoint. And all this is giving you a toolkit to provide you with the skill set so that you can navigate effectively. So again, ask yourself, how do you make decisions? Are you the type of person that make decisions very quickly? Or are you the type of person to take your time in making decisions? And the decisions also is parallel to how you deal with problems, right? Because some people like to deal with problems in a very aggressive manner. They're quick, they're short, and there's other people that literally don't like to rock the waves, or they really want to understand what's going on. But until you understand and do the homework within yourself, you won't really know that. And then that also falls into the negative thoughts, because sometimes we think that the way a person has responded to us is always based upon something we said or an action that we have inflicted on them, when sometimes it has absolutely nothing to do with it. Going back to the example of my kids, if I just say, I need to talk to you about something, it doesn't necessarily mean that they did something wrong. It just means I have something that I want to, talk to you about. If you did something wrong, we're adults. I can tell you that, you did something wrong. Even that doesn't even sound correct. Like doing something wrong is very vague. It's sort of like, hey, here's an issue that we need to address, is more or less like it. Yeah, so that's the vibe for this week. This is Motivation and Confidence, where we help you do your daily best.